Little Hop Along is back with Westland Survival, my personal episode 3, at least for this Let's Play series. And I think where we left things last, we were looking at the fact that bandits were about to come in and attack, but I didn't feel confident in our healing ability. So I'm running to the buffalo pasture real quick. We have about an hour or so before they show up, so I can play this, get back, make some healing appointments, and go for it. Since we're using that auto search feature, just kind of killing everything on site first, um, removing all of our crafting tools, and we're going to see how much of that we can make on our own. It's been about maybe 2 weeks since I've been playing in this particular method of quote-unquote living off the land, and it's been working for me. I find that I don't use my gathering tools as much. It helps me personally prioritize everything, make sure that I've scoured the entire landscape, made use of the entire landscape, made the best possible use of the energy getting there, killing time while the energy grows back up, saving on how much I use the horse. In some respects, overall, just saving how much I have to mass produce. And since I've been doing these, I started looking up some different Let's Plays, and Lord knows this one, if you find this one, then you really dug hard, because I see there's so many out there, and that the game has already been out for over a year, and I've only been playing for 2 months, and Let's Play for about 3 days. But I will give myself a pat on the back for being able to do so much on my phone. I'm always excited about that process. Particularly anything that comes with great graphics, production, great art. It's just a bit of a creative outlet in the midst of 2020. And you should be seeing more information about the Patreon account soon. It's going to link you to a place where we're going to have some really cool things for free for the most part, but with donations if you so choose. More Let's Play videos. I'm kind of only focusing on this game right now. Look forward to some comic book reviews, big X-Men fan. Working on a self-published comic series, so I'll be dropping, some of the manuscript, and also working with a great children's literature author on her next 3 books, so we're going to have some sample pages and sample art for you to check out there. All coming soon on Patreon. Now when I tell you the buffalo are so tempting, because it's just all that leather, all that meat. I'm primarily here to get just the ointment ingredients. Here I think I'm mostly going to get everything that will let me make the green and maybe the orange potions, and then turn those into salves. And when I tell you these cactus fruit have saved my life on many occasions, enough of them, pretty much like any other food, you can take your HP all the way back up to the top. Sorry about that. Keep forgetting to put on the do not disturb. I'll catch you next time. Learn a little bit each time with the production, so hopefully it's getting better each time. I know the sound quality wasn't that great on the first two as far as my volume, so I'm trying to stay close to the mic. And it did occur to me that I can actually double time this. Let's see if we can't do that really quick. Okay, I'll figure out speeding it up another time, but I know that you can speed it up on YouTube. You can speed up the playback. And I did notice that a lot of people aren't doing voiceovers for these. I guess it seems a bit outdated now with all the great graphics. I think I'm going to move to that direction soon. And we're also going to work on trying to break up some of these really long episodes. We're looking at a couple that I filmed this week. At least one or two are bordering on about 50 minutes, so we're going to try to break those up. I know that the longer ones so far is the bandit attack, but I do want you to see that. And the copper mine is very cool. I think the most recent one that I recorded was going up into the Indian Territory, which is a newly opened area for me in light of having the horse and a few other things. It is definitely a reward in itself. I'm actually at the point now where I'm starting to try to acquire iron ore, and it's pretty scarce out on the main plains, but it's very abundant up in the Indian territories. As far as being able to mine it out of rock, there's for me the third mine, so there's a whole iron ore mine, but the trick to that whole area is having warm enough clothing. And I think you did see I was working on the upgrade to the armory table, I believe it's called, which allows you to make clothing. And while doing that, I'm also gathering the materials in advance for making a winter outfit. Actually, I think I won one, or I earned one in a shootout or on a train or something like that. But it was a big day in the midst of, a lot of days of doing the same thing over and over again. But once I got that, I was able to just flow through that area. I would definitely recommend, if you can acquire the clothes even before trying to clear the pass, because it's a lot of digging and you do get cold. And I hate I didn't record that one, but when I did that one, it took me quite a few stone axes and bronze axes and trips back and forth to the fire pit that's over there, if you hadn't noticed it. Definitely whenever you first go there, even if you're going just to explore it, go there with a torch so that you can consistently warm yourself up. But there's nothing like real preparation, which includes having the clothes, the pickaxes. It's a great place to acquire a lot of different rocks, which was a boon, and a few treasures here and there, some oak, and I want to say some maple trees. It might be a place worth farming every now and again, with the exception of the rocks. Once the rocks are cleared, they're gone. So yeah, now we're just at the point of mopping up, so to speak. I did just recently learn that I have been neglecting the rope. I think I talked about it beforehand, that I have been dropping the rope, mostly because I hadn't been using it to make the regular shoes anymore while the work table is down. And I also wasn't making any more sandbags currently. But then I noticed that I forget who it is, but there is a trader either in town, I believe it was in town, that will take your basic rope and weave that or trade that in for juke rope, which is what I've been scarce on in my current gameplay. And here you see how absurdly simple it is to deal with the buffalo, particularly especially if you have, in any case when you're fighting anything, having an animal with you at the very least, it presents another target, and usually your attacker will attack that, giving you time to kill it off first. Ideally, of course, the more the better in terms of, running with wolves, coyotes, that sort of thing. But that comes with the boosting of your spirit points, which, to be honest, I did exclusively only get spirit points for the last, I don't know how many updates, the better part of 20 or 30 updates. Seeing that how I'm at 26, and I know that I did use a few others here and there. But I mean, look at this, a good gun. To some degree, I didn't accomplish it here, but even the bodies act as a barricade of a sort, and so you might be able to kind of fence yourself in a way that will keep the buffalo from being able to actually attack you, and you can shoot them from a distance. So it's just really a place to come up when it comes to leather. And always keep in mind too that worst case scenario, you can eat the meat raw that you take from the buffalo to increase your health without necessarily using any of your medicinals. And I will admit, normally the tedium, it's noticeable when you play the game, but it is broken up by the fact that you have so many objectives, so many different places to go. Even the places that you revisit, there's a good bit of a variety there. Each time that you revisit an old place, like even coming here, you're getting more experience. And playing in this manner, which I just started playing now, is really letting me reap a lot of bounty from each individual area. For the most part, when I leave the space, I feel like I've taken every good thing that space has to offer. And most recently learned in some instances, particularly with the shootouts, the bandit hunts and things like that, provided you have enough energy to spare, you can always run out and run back if your inventory gets full. You also have that option when you die and land back home to just run right back in. Not too much has been reset. I just hate the fact that you don't always appear where you first ran out. You typically don't, and you don't necessarily enter back in the same place you first entered. So, you do have to get reoriented. Some things may have shifted around, but I do believe that in a lot of cases the enemies are dead. Things that were picked up will be gone. Things that remain will still be there. And it's just me being tedious and making sure that as I run back and forth across the landscape, I don't see any reason to stop. And you probably noticed that I'm kind of searching in a sort of a grid, um, either going up and down over a square or two and up and down again, or doing the same thing on the horizontal. But whatever pass works for you. And I should have left that dynamite. I believe I brought that intending to go somewhere else, to one of the mines. But yeah, now we're trying to see if we have space for anything else. And it looks like we do still have space for buffalo. Or buffalo byproduct. I do caution against this because I do know that you have to keep in mind how much you have in terms of weapons before they break. Close before they fail. Everything pretty much is getting consumed. Um, but I believe the act of dying on the screen will totally wipe a weapon out. Have seen some things missing when I die on the screen. Let's put it that way. Thankfully, the Indian jewelry is not one of those items. They aren't consumed and they aren't lost. They can be stolen by bandits. So, we have 50 minutes before the bandits show up. And let's see if my haul was worth it. We're just checking the time again. Kind of a big deal. So we got 40 minutes. So here we are squeezing out the most productivity we can in terms of healing ourselves up, having healing salve and reserve, having the best weapons, the best defense in terms of your clothes, in terms of walls being built. And until recently, I guess because my defenses were pretty much equal all the way around, I didn't notice a pattern where the bandits always seem to attack the same side. I want to say the upper left, always from the back, even when I close the doors, which is something that you want to do as far as barricading yourself in. But they always seem to break through the same spot. So I have been focusing on the walls in that spot, upgrading those. And since I've noticed doing that, you'll see soon they came in a totally different area, but it made sense where they came in because it was the weakest wall. So something to be mindful of, evenly distribute your efforts to fortify your place. So you got some things you can use, some things you can make, and that will be made within those 40 minutes. And you got a couple things you can make, but you just use the water bottles. You may notice sitting there. I'm trying to doing some things in the background, the notifications. I I was actually about to put it on Do Not Disturb until I realized I am expecting a couple of important calls. So bear with me. And also got to remember to take my little assistant, that little circle with the 4 squares, out of there every so often. We're mostly just looking at what we can upgrade. I think at this point we started catching on to the idea of making sturdier walls. So we're trying to make enough nails, stone, and pine. Don't have much shielding, so we are looking at how we can eat. And at this point, it's worth the defense of our home. We've done a lot. And I think you will always feel that at any point that you've done a lot to acquire all these resources and you don't want them to steal them. So, it's like, hey, if we have to empty everything out. But the good thing is, I think I've seen as few as 4 bandits. And with this episode that's coming up, I've seen as many as 7. So you don't have to kill as many off. It's very proportionate to the number that you might run into in any of the territories, and they aren't particularly strong just yet. So for the most part, a good weapon that can take them out in 1, 2 shots, 2 hits max, and you can clear the screen. But we'll talk more about that when we see it. Can I say how much the storage, how important that is? Definitely work on your storage. I think until I got all of these different respective closets and cabinets, I was working with 4 boxes. I think I started with 1 small one, got a second small one, upgraded to both of them, and ultimately I had 4 of the first upgrade for the small box before I started on acquiring the larger storage spaces. And it's a lot of tedium because you're building stuff, so that's why it's still kind of patchworky for me. But at this point I feel like I have pretty reasonable defenses. I would like to have some better weapons. And we're also looking at what we can kind of use up, what we can repair, what we can make in terms of weapons and tools. And this is definitely a place where all of those respective metals come in, because you need those to make the repair kits, which are a bit cumbersome. There are a couple of ingredients for those. Usually some wood, some metal, some leather, or some rope. And so I find myself weighing out, the building of the repair kits versus just building the item itself. And at different points of time, depending on the combination of resources I have at hand, that's how I determine what to make, what to repair. At this point, kind of weighing out, what repair kit they need and the likelihood of me having it anytime soon. I recently made a big error by trading, I believe, all of my bronze yeah, my bronze gun making tools, and I just acquired some more. So try and be judicious in the spending of those. And at this point, we can put everything we're not trying to immediately repair or leave in a repair queue away, and just narrow down to, okay, what's going to be the one and done gun. And keep in mind, these guns can be stolen too, so, kind of weighing out, what's the best one to use, have a couple in reserve, particularly seeing as how they're about to break, and even looking at, what is going to be both the most effective, but the least of a blow if it breaks. So you notice I have a winter gear situation there, but I've been mindful about not using it until I'm ready. Thankfully, for the most part, I haven't gone anywhere that will attack me. It's great to know that the Indian village is neutral territory, so you don't get attacked there, which is great. But you do have to be warm enough to move about. And honestly, I think that's what happened right before starting to film this series. I did go to I think it's a frozen forest, something to that effect. Just checking out, what ore they had. And while there, wow, boy, did we get attacked. I think I got excited because I saw that it had a number of great melee weapons, swords, and all I think I got from the Indian village. And then I think I had a lot of healing herb. I pretty much went in thinking I was ready, and there were so many major predators, bears that were about 2,000 hit points, and lynxes that were about the same. I think there's a hitman who was about 20,000, something ridiculous like that. But it was like every enemy out there was a big predator. And I think I went in and out a couple of times, used up all of my healing, used up my best weapons, ultimately used up all of my clothes, and even then tried to sneak around, and finally got cold. And I can't remember if I died. Yeah, I died trying to make it back to the horse. But we got quite a bit of ore, but there was so much left. So many resources. Thinking about all the fur, the bear teeth, the wolf teeth, the iron ore. I think there were some maple and ash trees. Definitely worth going back there to farm when I'm better equipped. And thereabout, I think I would find that I was adequately prepared to deal with the iron ore mines, just because you run into so many people. There are very few animals and very few that attack you or that you can, bring on your team. But, quite a few shooters, quite a few big guys with clubs and melee weapons, and they're all attacking you all at once. And basically, looking at it here, you need a lot of healing items because you're going to take a lot of hits. Or at least the balance of a really good gun that can kill everyone in one shot, and ideally before they can get hit in on you. Not quite there yet, so it's kind of a balance of the best gun, the best healing. But just being a little meticulous here, trying to figure out what last things I can get in order. before the bandits show. Definitely gonna change those clothes. I don't think there's anything to drink. We got a gun in the making, I believe. And another time check for the bandits. At this point, I think I started to pause the video and come back in. Yeah, 27 minutes. I think I did pause and put it on a timer and come back. So we should see the bandits on the next episode. Thanks for watching.